spray spray.
Hey, ke tšho mo re leng teng. Ke o kae mo?
Ke di-ox.
Today we have another road trip. We are going to explore the Panorama route, which is in the Mpumalanga province. But currently we are still in Limpopo, in Phalaborwa. So we are going to move towards the Panorama route. It means we are going to move from north to south. As usual, we did a reset on the fuel consumption, the travel time, and the travel distance. So we all took them to 0. We are not going to fill up because we still have fuel from our previous road trip where we were moving from Nelspruit to Phalaborwa. Here we had just left Phalaborwa. We were 3 kilometers to Woodspruit. So we took this ride, which is R530, that will go towards Lydenburg. After taking this ride, we immediately saw a sign that says this road has potholes. It has many potholes. But it gave us hope when we started the route as if the potholes were patched. But hey, they were not. The potholes that I saw on this route, the R530, I haven't seen big potholes like this in South Africa. I thought the potholes in Carolina are the ones that are taking the crown. But after I saw these potholes on this route, I actually changed my opinion. The ground clearance of this Audi Q2 was fine, but the 18-inch alloy wheels that are here in this vehicle, they are fine, but the profile is a little bit thin, so it wasn't coping as much as I would expect it. When we were in Phalaborwa, I actually got the opportunity to ask the locals what does the name Phalaborwa mean, and I will explain it in Venek in Sesotho. Ho nona le Basotho ba tswang Borwa. Ha ba fitla tulong yano e re tloang ho yona, ba e bona hore e betere e phala ya Borwa, ba be ba e bitsa jwalo. Lebitso leno le reng Phalaborwa le tjho ntho eno hore tulong yane e phala ya Borwa, meaning if we explain it in English, that place is better than the south. There were Sotho individuals who were migrants. So when they arrived in that place, they saw that it's better and it's richer in minerals than the south. Hence, they called it better than the south. Here we had traveled around about 1 hour, and our fuel consumption was sitting at 6.3 liters per 100 kilometer. So on this T-junction, if you take your right, you would be going to a place called Gaskororo. Then if you further continue, you would go to Tsanin. But we took our left because we are still following this R530. It says it will take us to Lydenburg. And when we asked the locals around this area, they said it is called the Ox. Here in the Ox area, there's actually a new mall that is being constructed. It is called Banageng Ba Galetswalo. Yeah, we are around the Limpopo area, so we are learning a bit of Sepedi. So it's called Banageng Ba Galetswalo. That's the name of the new mall that is being constructed. So after the potholes that we traveled in, I saw it fit that I need to check my tires. Since the Ox area, it looks like it's a developing place, we were hoping and praying that there should be a filling station nearby. Yeah, but since we are still looking for a filling station, if you haven't liked this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please also share your comments. We are interested to know how are we doing. But if you've already subscribed, please just know that we are going to travel South Africa together. Back to the business of the day. In this T-junction, we took R36 that goes to Ladenburg. But if you take the R527, then you would go back to Woodspruit. And I think this might be a better route as compared to the one that we just traveled in. And we got the filling station here in the T-Ox area, and we checked our tires. After checking our tires, we saw this market over here. Then there's something that we wanted to buy over here and support locals from this place, and also ask for like directions and information regarding the area. While we were still chatting with the ladies, they said, bona they don't take cash. They have a speed point. Bari unchebe mo mahlweng, unchebe ska nyatsa, re a swipe mo high. And then we paid and we left. But they were quite friendly, I have to say. We are still in the Limpopo province. We have just left the Ox. Then we started to climb this hill. We were looking at this nice hill. It has nice views, and we were moving like very slow, because it's also written there that it's also a high accident zone. And our fuel consumption was starting to climb up because we were moving uphill. And they said this area is called Libueng. When we asked the ladies that from here, the Ox, where will we go? They said we are going to the Libueng. Here in this hill, that's where I also noticed that, hey, it's nice driving an automatic vehicle. You don't have to think of changing down and up, because this hill, if it was a manual car that we were driving, we were going to change between gear 2 and 3. We will play around those gears. So automatic transmissions they're just good. They make your life easier, especially if you're traveling like long distances. Then we also met this tunnel, which is called the JG Strike Dome Channel. This JG Strike Dome is a former prime minister here in South Africa, but during the era of apartheid. As beautiful as the place is, but you need to be careful on this road. Look at the road that is going downhill. This is a high accident zone, so be cautious as you are traveling here. Yeah, we are still in the Limpopo province. We are in no man's land. There are no boards that are telling us where we are at the moment. Here, we took our left and went to Granskop. Granskop is about 72 kilometers from here. But if you continue straight, you'll end up in Beckersford, and you can also end up in Polokwane as well. After this turn, then we were done with the building up to the Panorama route. That's where the Panorama route starts. We are in the Panorama route. According to our research, because we are moving from north to south, we were told that the first stop will be in the 3 Rondavels. So as we are enjoying this route, we are also looking for the board that says three Rondavels. We don't know where it will be. So we are moving and enjoying this road trip. We are now formally leaving the Limpopo province and we are now traveling in the Mpumalanga province. It's actually the second time we are in the Limpopo province this year. Early this year we were in round about the Polokwane area, and now we found ourselves round about the Phalaborwa area. So we are back in Mpumalanga. Then after climbing this hill, we now saw the boards, the brown boards that saying your next turn on your left, that will be your viewing point on the three Rondavels. Then we took this route and then we went to the paying point of the three Rondavels. It was quite a nice place to be here. Then here we paid 45 rands, two of us. We paid 45 rands as we were South African citizens. If you are a foreign national, you got to pay a different price. After 2 hours, 9 minutes, we were at the three Rondavels. We were averaging round about 6.5 liters per 100 kilometer, and we had traveled round about 137 kilometers, and we were now having a half tank. We walked about 5 minutes to the viewing point. The river that you see down there is called the Blade River. Then when I think of the Blade River, I remember when I was doing grade 12 geography, the topic on geomorphology, river systems, we spoke about the Blade River Canyon. Those that did CAPS, I am the second generation of CAPS. You can tell me on the comment section if you remember something about the Blade River Canyon. And as we are still looking at these three Rondavels, when I look at them, I think in geography again, but in grade 11, we spoke about mesas and pointed buttes. When I look at the third Rondavel on your right, it looks like a pointed butte to me. If someone knows anything about pointed buttes, please tell me on the comment section. 20 minutes later from the three Rondavels, we went to see the potholes. This place, I think it's called the Lowveld View, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we took our next left over here, and then we went to the paying point of to go and see these potholes. And the entrance fee over here was 75 rands per individual. After traveling on potholes earlier in the day, I was quite not impressed for paying to see another potholes. And this time around, I didn't even get the point. I didn't see the potholes. People were trying to explain where they are, but I couldn't get the point why they are called potholes. When we were here, now time was against us, because as much as we were traveling, but we were also rushing to Sabi. We had an appointment. There was something that we needed to discuss. So time was against us. So we needed to go back to the road. So it means we were unable to view other points here in the Panorama route. After traveling around about 168 kilometers, we are still in the Panorama route, and the views on this route, they're just amazing. I recommend a trip, or an all-round trip on the Panorama route. such an amazing route to be. In fact, in the morning, there was an article written by SABC speaking about the roads in the Panorama route, that they are not well maintained. Personally, I did not see that. When you start the Panorama route, routes were well maintained. I didn't experience any potholes on the Panorama route. When we are here, we were still approaching Kranskop, but along the way, we saw a board that says, this is the direction that you need to take, the turn on your left if you are going to go to God's Window. Yeah, so we were about 2 kilometers from Kranskop. So what I have picked up along the years, if you are approaching a town, you need to drop your speed to 60, 70 kilometers an hour, because if there is no speed camera, there are traffic cops. It's just my observations that I've made. So we also dropped the speed because we were approaching Kranskop, the town. As we are in Kranskop, the town, the activities that you can do when you are in Kranskop, which is fairly a small town, according to my observation, you can do the gorge lift, you can do the big swing, you can do the zip line, you can do the cliff walk and the suspension bridge. And then you can also go and observe the God's Window, the one that we've just passed. There's also the Lipson Falls, there's the Pinnacle Rock, and there's a Berlin Falls. Those waterfalls that we are talking about, they are quite nice to watch. It's nature. If you are someone who likes nature, Kranskop is the place that you need to be around too. After leaving the town, Kranskop, we were now rushing to Sabi for our appointment. So we took the next left over here, and then we started climbing the hill. From Kranskop going up to Sabi, you are climbing the hill, and our fuel consumption was shooting up. You could hear this 1 liter TFSI engine that it was not screaming, but you can hear it that it was working a bit hard. And you can also feel that it is a 1 liter. Most of the time, even the turbo kicked in, but we are still putting our foot down because we were going up. Then in between Kranskop and Sabi, you will find a turn on your left, the one that I'm showing you there, which is called the Mek Falls. It's also a waterfall that you can go and have some refreshing air onto. Yeah. And when we were here, we were now in Sabi. So when you are from Kranskop to Sabi, when you arrive in Sabi, the road goes downhill, and then you will see a camera that says 60. The traffic cops at Sabi, they are very, very active. It's actually the second time coming to Sabi in the space of 2 months, and I've seen traffic cops over there. Then we actually made it in time for our appointment. So this Audi was taking care of us. It was moving when we needed to move. So we made it in time. Just with my grade 12 geography knowledge, when I look at a town like Sabi, it's down in a valley. This place should be very cold in winter because it's in between mountains and it's down there. Yeah, so when we were here, we were leaving Sabi and we were going to take the left. This left will take us straight to Nelspruit if we are following it. It's the R37 route. It's actually the one that we spoke about from our previous road trip, the one from Nelspruit to Phalaborwa. It's the one that we said it's an alternative route when we were passing around about the Riverside industrial area. So if you continue straight with the route that we've just left, you'll go to Lydenburg, which is also known as Mashishing. Here we left R37 and took a turn that goes to Montrose, which is the last bit of the Panorama route. We are now towards the end. We will end this video when we arrive at the Sudwala caves. That's where we believe that the Panorama route ends or starts if you are from like the south. Here in this road, we were just lonely chickens. We were traveling alone. I don't think most of like the tourists they come towards this side, because if you're exploring the Panorama route, then it will be like long. When we are here, we can say we have formally arrived, because if you take your right in this T-junction, you would be like going to the Sudwala caves, which will be your first stop if you are from the south. And then if you are from the north, it will be your last stop. But most people, they don't normally come here in Sudwala caves, because it makes the route to be long. So we have like formally arrived when we're here. So from Phalaborwa to Sudwala caves, we traveled around about 263 kilometers, and our fuel consumption was 6.1. Yeah, it makes sense because we're going like uphill most of the time. So this Audi, I could say it is like fuel efficient. Thank you for watching. This video has come to an end. We will definitely see you on the next one.